Welcome to Cyber Espresso podcast, your quick shot of cybersecurity insights with industry leaders. I welcome our guest Vishal Vaghela today. He is the Chief Information Security Officer at Americana Restaurants. Vishal, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Vishal, as a CISO, I'm sure you are tasked with executing short-term tactical plans, while simultaneously you're also working for the long-term strategic roadmap, maybe spanning 5 or more years. So, in an era defined by AI, how feasible is it to make such long-term planning?
Absolutely bang on. I think the way things are unfolding at the pace it's unfolding, it wouldn't be a wise to devise a plan that is 5 year long. However, there's still things that in terms of your roadmap, what are the things you got to have in place? What are the basic building blocks that you really want to put in place? That should not be impacted by the rapid speed of AI development. So those things can still go ahead. I think the only thing wouldn't be as it was in past. You can't really predict how you're gonna mitigate it, how you're gonna build your security strategy, the execution part, because things are changing. Today you thought of one tool, today you thought of one area. Tomorrow, within 6 months of the line, you don't even have to worry about it because one or the other way, either it's been taken care of by your existing tool set, or you there are a lot of things combined into new offerings. So the execution part would still be tricky to plan way ahead in advance, but yes, the strategy should not be really impacted much by the development in AI.
Perfect. So, talking about strategy, talking about execution, I know you have global experience working in North America, in Asia, Middle East, and you moved from Toronto to Dubai almost 5 years ago. So, the same cybersecurity or risk management strategy you develop can span such diverse geographies, or have you found it necessary to re-architect it, your approach almost from scratch to adapt to local needs?
So it is literally 50-50%, and I'll tell you how. So the 50% is the tools, the technologies, the underlying platforms, the underlying applications, the underlying systems, the underlying infrastructure. There, nothing changes. It's be it you're working for North America, be it you're working in a remote island, or be you're working in the Middle East or European region, nothing changes. The sets of control. Let's talk about a very simple, everybody understand. Let's say access management. The access management control gonna work the same way it works in North America versus Europe versus Middle East. However, the remaining 50%, which is about the operational execution, where you got to understand the culture, the adoption of it, you got to understand the people you work with, the different teams you work with. That is definitely there is a drastic difference between the two cultures. There is nothing right or wrong. There is no one good over the others. It's just the style is very different. Uh, like I'll give you a very good example. Like for example, in back home in Canada or US, where I used to work more, you send an email to somebody and you would expect the things would be done on a time, and it generally would be done. Here, instead of an email, just close to the go to the person, stand next to him, put your hand on the shoulder, explain what you're doing, and things would be done even without email. So it's all about more of a personal rapport. The way things move here is more on a way more on a human interaction dependence rather than way too much formal. So there are both pros and cons on that. The major differentiator, in my opinion, would be industry to industry. So, for example, how the banking would understand the risk versus how a retail organization or how, let's say, a government-backed organization understand the risk, there's a lot of difference. So that's where, irrespective of the geography, irrespective of the country, I think industry-industry based differentiator is very clear, and culture to culture. But the technology platforms, they're pretty much same.
Okay. I think these are the good challenges to have when it comes to the people and culture. It's kind of a learning curve, right?
Absolutely,
So,
and it's the good part, Murat. To be honest, like so,
yeah,
I spent around 13, 14 years in Canada, worked a lot in US, and coming to this region, I I never been to this region before, not even as a tourist. The first time I landed here was with my offer letter, and the next day morning I was joining a company in this given role. And the best thing is about learning the culture. The best part of executing the way I did for the last 4.5 to 5 years is all about understanding the culture, understanding how people operate, what people prefer versus is what is not liked here, and that, as you correctly said, is a better challenge to have because that eventually helping me not only just to execute my projects but also helping me to integrate in the society here, to integrate in the communities here, because it's giving me a lot of insight in that way.
It's very true. It's very true. So you recently spoke at the CISO Summit UAE on the topic AI versus AI wars. So based on that discussion, where do you see the balance tipping today? Who is winning?
See, this is an yeah, a joke I cracked in the discussions. AI versus AI is like two chatbots are fighting, and we need another chatbot as a referee. So maybe AI versus AI, the only winner is AI. And you never know if in a AI versus AI you have an AI-based attacks versus AI-based defensive mechanism. Think of a scenario more on a light-hearted fun though, but think of a scenario where both the AI become a unionized and they come on some sort of a truce and you have no idea what to do now. Is it too far-fetched imagination? I don't believe so, because you look at some of the recent research done by Anthropics, Opus, or some of the other organizations on how AI acted in certain scenarios to safeguard itself against the shutdown or against the replacement threats. And I wouldn't be surprised if defensive AI doesn't really understand its goal versus what it has to protect. So, the on a serious note, the only way you can defend against the AI-based attack is, of course, you got to augment yourself with the AI-based tool. No doubt about it. You, as a human, you can't rely on the past tools. But the human interaction, the human as a man in middle, is way more important than ever before. It's just like using ChatGPT or Gemini. It's there to help you. You make two different people sit in front of it, and depending on what prompts they give, the output would be based on that. So if a human layer is not smart enough, the Gemini or the Chat GPT or AI based tool not gonna do a good job at it. So that would still play the same role. The only thing is now you need to be way more smarter. You need to be way more faster, and to be fair to AI, and the good thing is that you will be augmented. You will be your capabilities are amplified now. You are in a much more stronger position to decide something faster, quicker, and something that only you can know from your business. So let's, for example, if based on certain attack, if my defensive AI mechanism is trying to shut down certain systems, the AI doesn't know what role it plays in terms of a real transaction. Am I on the peak hours of my business? Am I on the weekend? Am I on the festival season? And unplugging or cutting that off would put me into a very normal scenario or something in a multi-million dollar of a revenue loss immediately. So those insights can only come from the people who understand the industry that they're working in, they understand their business, and then takes decisions. So that's just my take on AI versus AI.
Good. So, Vishal, I appreciate your insights. I really enjoy our conversation. And again, once again, you took your some time to be part of our podcast. So, I look forward to our conversation in other opportunities in other occasions.
Thank you, Murat. Thank you for having me. And it's always fun talking about AI nowadays. It's just really fun. Thank you.
Likewise, take care. Have a pleasant weekend.
Yeah, you too. Bye.